Within 2 hours of the show releasing, I got some message from somebody from Hollywood and I thought it was a prank. I thought it was a prank. I was like, अभी तो release हुआ है यार. कहाँ से Hollywood से मुझे कोई किसी producer का message आ रहा है? What nonsense. I was going through a low phase in my life and I shared a little bit of that with him. If I shared 2 out of 10, he understood 10 out of 10. He just added 8 out of 10 on his own. The days that we had those conversations were the very days that I was at my lowest, at my darkest. And there's like a set box for you, and there's a tag on top of the box. And when you're a TV star, the tag is not stuck, the tag is nailed.
Did that label ever came in the way of it?
Of course, it still does. You know, you will be signed on for pivotal characters, but you won't feature on the hoardings or the posters, or dates will be taken but they will be cancelled, your shoots will get cancelled, on the edit your scenes will get chopped. This happens all the time. But where does that motivation come when you don't even feel like getting up from the bed? When you're depressed and down and dark and you have all kinds of thoughts, where everything seems futile and you feel nothing is worth it.
But how challenging has it been being a single father?
He doesn't live with me, he lives in Bangalore, and I don't get to see him as much as I would like to. But
he has been a heartthrob of the nation ever since he first appeared on screen. His charm has just grown over the years, and I can attest to that he is a show-shot heartbreaker, and a lot of people would agree with me. And today I feel quite special as I sit next to him and welcome Gaurav Chopraa for a conversation only on Bollywood Bubble. So Gaurav, welcome to Bollywood Bubble firstly.
Thank you for that very, very flattering introduction. I don't know how much of it is true, but thank you very much.
I said I can attest to that, that is why it is true. I say attestation, I use my words very carefully. But firstly, congratulations on Rana Naidu. The show is doing so well, and your character in particular has got so much love and recognition from everywhere. Firstly, how has it been dealing with all the adulation that has been coming your way?
This was, when it takes this long to make, you get a little anxious. It's like you're preparing for some big exam.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're preparing for 3 months, it's 2 years. And then you get a little anxious saying, I hope acha ho jaye. What did I do 2 years ago? How did that sequence go? I don't remember clearly. You start getting those thoughts saying, I might have done it differently now. You start getting those thoughts. But then the thing comes out, and it's a crazy, quirky, entertaining character that people normally don't associate with me. And they lap it up. Within 2 hours of the show releasing, I got some message from somebody from Hollywood and I thought it was a prank. I thought it was a prank. I was like, अभी तो release हुआ है यार. कहाँ से Hollywood से मुझे कोई किसी producer का message आ रहा है? What nonsense. No, but that's the magic of Netflix. That's the magic of sort of, the entertainment world that we live in, because everything is like that.
Yeah. Throughout the show, you have had a very, I will say, exciting journey, because you have worked with a nephew and uncle pair, who also came together for the first time, and the excitement of it to work with Rana and Venkatesh sir, to kind of see the aura that they bring on set. How was it kind of soaking it all in for you?
With Rana, there was this instant fun, masti, bromance, dosti that happened. And we were cracking jokes and sharing even serious things. I was going through a low phase in my life, and I shared a little bit of that with him. Not too much, because there was mostly masti. But what happened was that in that masti, all that madness and quirkiness that my character was supposed to bring in those moments was so much easier. Because as it is, the atmosphere was that. And with Venky sir, it was surprising. He actually, वो हिंदी में एक word है कि भाप गए वो भाप गए that I was going through something. And he actually asked me, I was a little hesitant, I shared a little bit. And if I shared 2 out of 10, he understood 10 out of 10. He just added 8 out of 10 on his own. And then he shared his own spiritual journey. He shared his own life instances. personal instances, the ups and downs of his life, to mentor me and guide me through that phase in my life. And it was so pivotal that the day that we had the days that we had those conversations were the very days that I was at my lowest, at my darkest. And for an actor, it's tough, yeah, because I still have to look good and I still have to do a good job and I still need to have good energy. Who the hell cares that in reality you're going through some shit? It shouldn't matter when you're playing this. Plus, it required such a nuanced performance. So I had to be so in the moment, focused, correct with my energy, with everything. And I'm glad that there were these two gentlemen around me because in their different energies, they both really, really helped me. I don't know if they get to see this, but if they do, thank you.
Yeah, I hope they do too. And you spoke about the eccentricities of the character, na? And you said it correctly that people do not imagine you with that because always you have been that brooding, intense hero. That has been your aura on screen. To kind of pivot from that and get to experience this other side of it. Was it really refreshing for you as well?
It was, and it was a conscious decision, to be honest. We're trying to do that in this new phase. It's almost like a Gaurav 2.0. And I think that every actor should do this after he's been around for a while because we don't realize, but we tend to get stuck in a sur, which is why people are able to mimic us. And I realized that some 4-5 years ago, and around 3 years ago, when the whole COVID thing happened, I just decided that I was going to just take up roles, not think about the length, not think about whether I'm playing the hero or the villain or the whatever it is. If it is a role that I think I can do justice to, I'm just going to take it up and I'm just going to jump into the deep end of the pool straight away. And that's what I've done. मैंने सिर्फ कूद लगा दी है. मतलब मैंने सोचा ही नहीं है ये पानी कितना गहरा है, मैं डूबूंगा, मैं बाहर निकलूंगा, क्या होगा मुझे नहीं पता, ये पानी ठंडा है, गर्म है. I have not thought about it. And that's kind of liberating. Where I've not cared about my hair was in place. Oh, I didn't take my light completely. Can I have another shot so that correct angle of the face? Sir, can I change this? And this is like a new me even in terms of feeling like that. Because otherwise you're checking so many things in the shot.
Also like your last TV show was 3 years ago. And so staying away from TV is also kind of like a part of this new approach? Or somewhere do you feel like you are a little bit saturated on that?
No, saturation might not be the accurate word. I was getting the same prototypes on TV, which will then take you to that point of setting your sur, setting your timing, and then people can just close their eyes and say, हाँ गौरव इस सीन को ऐसे करता है. I don't want to be that expected and predictable. I do want to give to the audience what they like from me, but I also want to surprise them, and I will keep trying every once in a while. And this whole phase is that if they don't like this, I will go back to what they like me to do. My deal is with them, right? I try and entertain you, and you give me your love. That's the little thing. That's like the game we have, and I don't want to break that deal. But maza aata hai when you experiment and they like it. Then new doors open, new windows open. People get to see you in a new way. Hopefully, other people, not just the audience, but other people in the industry will see this and look at me in a different way. Otherwise, you're that Gaurav Chopraa, that TV star who's been around, who's done so much, and there's like a set box for you, and there's a tag on top of the box. And when you're a TV star, the tag is not stuck, the tag is nailed. And so it's great that if I'm able to erase that and make you look at me in a new way, because that's the whole point.
And you said that tag that it gets nailed, and I think audience is much more forgiving in that regard to let go of that nail, but perhaps the industry isn't. The industry takes it completely fixture, very seriously.
No, also because they don't really see your work. See, not everybody in the industry has the time to be seeing everything.
Yeah.
So if I've given a great performance on TV, most film directors haven't seen it. So the audience might think of me as ये TV actors में एक different type का actor है, इसकी range ज़्यादा है, ये कुछ अलग करता है. But they don't know that, and I'm not blaming them. I mean, they're living in a zone, and this is what it is. They do film work that we see. That doesn't mean that they see the TV work that we do. There's no fairness that you can demand like this. And so it's all right. It's all right that they don't know about you. I mean, maybe it's unfair, but it's okay. This is how it is. That's the reality of the situation. And you then have to wait for an opportunity like Rana Naidu on a Netflix and a Prince Reddy, where, wow, there is so much to showcase. Then you say, wow, let's do this straight away. And you jump into it, like I said before.
Also, like you said, na, ki everyone does not have the time to watch everything. That's true. But when you were trying to dabble into different mediums, did that label ever came in the way of it?
Of course, it still does. It still does. This is still changing. As I'm talking to you, this perception is still changing. As people are watching me play Prince, this is in the process right now. You know, you will be signed on for pivotal characters, but you won't feature on the hoardings or the posters, or dates will be taken but they will be cancelled, your shoots will get cancelled, on the edit your scenes will get chopped. This happens all the time, even with me at my stage. And this is an even more complicated stage because you're being treated with a lot of respect, but still this happens. See, for a rank newcomer, he knows this can happen to him. He's almost expecting it. But I'm not expecting it. And still it happens. So it's disappointing, it breaks your heart. A lot of great moments and performances haven't reached the audience in the process. But so what? This is what it is. This is what it is. Tomorrow, hopefully, by the grace of God, I'll be 2 notches up. And then this won't happen. Then they'll put you even more prominently on the hoarding and the poster. Right now they feel they need to put other faces, and I accept that. It's that tag of you are from a medium, and so your capabilities might be limited, or your horizon and your understanding might be limited, your intelligence as an actor might be limited, your sincerity towards your craft and towards your character would be limited. वो perceptions हैं and they live, and most of them are true, unfortunately. And so I don't fight that. I accept that for the way it is, and I take it upon myself that every time I get an opportunity, I will do something to prove everybody wrong. And that's my way of fighting it rather than fighting it otherwise.
And I feel like the success becomes much more sweeter after that.
Yes, it does.
Because
yes, it does.
I feel the whole journey of this show has been very tumultuous and like a roller coaster for you personally as well, because there was the grief of losing your parents, there was the happiness of having your son, and then there were issues in your personal life as well. So to deal with all that while you are working on a project that is not just any other project, it also has a scale, it has a grandeur attached to it, and it is also a redefining thing for you as well professionally.
Correct.
To manage all that, how difficult did it get to have it all at once? Because a part of it you shared by saying that there were people who you spoke to, be it Rana or be it Venkatesh sir, there was support around, but that internal conflict, that is something not easy to put into words to everyone.
No, correct. Also, you're shooting only for 10 days a month, 5 days a month sometimes. You're used to shooting 30 days a month. You're sitting at home and you're saying no to work, and you're saying no to money because you've taken this creative decision. So yes, being an actor is tough sometimes. It's not hunky-dory. Things don't happen the way that you want them to happen. And you have to literally piece by piece, carve your path. But you know, hua kya? I discovered a friend inside. I started listening to that voice inside. And that guy helped me more than anybody else. More than any counseling, more than any support. There wasn't any support in any case. But it's almost like when I had this, I kind of took it upon myself. So I gave you the example of, I said, okay, I should start going to the gym a little extra to get the 2 extra abs. But where does that motivation come when you don't even feel like getting up from the bed? When you're depressed and down and dark and you have all kinds of thoughts, where everything seems futile and you feel nothing is worth it. और आपको लगता है अच्छा ये हो भी जाएगा तो क्या होगा? What? ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है? जला दो फूंक डालो ये दुनिया is the kind of vibe you're in. And उस vibe में how do you produce a prince is that guy. And sometimes he would encourage me, sometimes वो डांटता था मुझे. And sometimes I've actually spoken to myself. So sitting alone at home, चलो खड़ा हो, चल जा, नहीं जाना है, कोई बात नहीं, 20 मिनट के लिए जाओ, खड़े हो, चलो जाओ. And sometimes you need to hear that from somebody that you can trust. So my only little humble, modest suggestion to anybody who's going through any kind of a darkness or a cloud over your life, mental issues, find that friend inside. Stop looking for it outside. Once you find that voice, nothing can deter you. I think I'm a different human being, a better, stronger human being than I was before this problem, only because I discovered that voice.
During that time, there was a lot of loss that happened with you, but did the loneliness ever got to you?
Yes. But more than that, it starts to feel like, what are you fighting for? Why should you go through this? What is on the other side? Literally the Arjun questions to Krishna at that moment. And your parents and your loved ones and your family and your friends and counselors, anybody, they all mean well, but they cannot mean as well as that guy inside.
Yeah.
And they cannot be so honest to you as that guy inside. And nobody knows you as much as that guy inside.
But how challenging has it been being a single father, being a single parent?
The situation is not that, and he doesn't live with me. He lives in Bangalore, and I don't get to see him as much as I would like to. But it's like a threshold point. Once you've crossed, once you've become a parent, you can't undo that. Of course, you can become self-centered and live a life where you don't care about it, or you can accept the fact that you've discovered something special, and now you want to be a better person, better version of yourself. And yeah, I think that everybody should go through this experience of reliving your own childhood, finding out who you were as a boy when you see a little version of yourself in front of you. So it's also beautiful when there are family traits and mannerisms and gestures and features, and it's magical to see something like your father. Your father's passed away, but you suddenly see somebody looking like him in front of you. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's also magical.
True. I have not experienced fatherhood, but from what I've heard from people, and I think it's an instinct you feel, and you don't have to be even maybe a father for that. It's some person you feel that protective about.
Correct.
You kind of get an essence of that feeling, and
Correct.
that is beautiful.
Correct. Also, I think a lot is not said about fathers. The emotionality is not spoken of, or a father is not good enough if he can't provide.
Yeah.
It ends there. एक father का प्यार उसके providing तक खत्म हो जाता है.
Capability पे.
I met like this taxi driver in Dubai just some days ago, and he was crying, saying, 100 रुपए कम भेजता हूँ, I stopped being a father. But the men don't really emotionalize this and talk about it freely. So the focus remains on the emotionality of a mother and a woman, which is true, it is. but it's not like fathers have it lesser, and it's not as special. In fact, it is very misunderstood, and it's very materialistically judged. And I think in the world that we live today, when we break sort of all kinds of ceilings and talk about many things freely like we used to not before, I think this is one of those things that needs to take some sort of precedent and some sort of, the limelight.
And I was reading a couple of your interviews before this conversation, and you said that it has been tough and you still have not dealt with the loss of your parents yet, because it's an everyday thing. You can never get come to terms with it. You can't. It's simple as that. But to not have your son next to you, does this add to it? Because you have lost a chain on that side of the family, the above generation, and not to have the younger generation, the next in line to you, next to you, does it add to
It's something that is still in the process, so I don't want to say much about that. And, I'm trying to make it better as with every given day. I try my best. And, I would just be happy. Happy is maybe far-fetched word. I would just be satisfied if he's okay.
Yeah.
Going back to that taxi driver in Dubai, he's living a miserable, lonely life because he knows his family is okay. We're not talking about his miserable life, but he's okay. He says, ठीक है, ये मेरा फर्ज है, this is my duty, I'm doing it. They're okay, उसको तसल्ली है. And I think it's a huge thing. I think it's a huge thing from a man's point of view that if you think that your family is okay, you're okay. That much is enough.
I can give you this in writing that your parents will be very proud seeing all the success that you are getting for the show, the love that you are getting, because this is very well deserved and very well timed, because this new version of you needed that. I feel like it gives a validation to it.
Yeah.
That the new you that is coming, it is the right thing for you at this point. Thank you.
No, but it is their blessing.
Yeah, it is their blessing.
Like you said, the timing is such that I don't even have a doubt that it is.
Yeah, but they would be very happy seeing this from above, and I'm sure this new phase of yours will bring you a lot of love and adulation from everyone around you, and it has already started. Thank you so much for giving me this time to have this conversation. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for sharing a little bit of your heart with me.
Thank you.
Hope you had a good time, because I had a great one. Thank you so much. Lots of love and luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, this is Gaurav Chopraa. You are watching me on Bollywood Bubble. Like, share, subscribe.